Yes. Hello, class 5. Welcome to our today's lesson. It has been a long time. 1 full month without me seeing you, without us talking. Some of you we've been talking, some of you have been interacting, we've seen each other. Lakini wengine wenu, most of you have just disappeared and you went for good. Almost a year before, since I saw you last. Anyway, soon we will be opening our schools and we will be meeting. I hope you are taking care at home. You're sanitizing. Corona is real, even though it's like you're coming to an end. We thank God for that. So let us go back to our lesson. On Monday, I gave you some questions. Of which I want us to go through them. I want us to go through the questions that I gave you on on Monday last week. And some of the questions are here. Number 1, write as a fraction. That was the first question. You are being asked to write as a decimal. Sorry, not as a fraction. You write as a decimal. And the question was 4. Supposed to write 4/5 as a decimal. You're supposed to write 4/5 as a decimal. So remember, we did this work. During our last lesson, the lessons that we were having before we did our exam, and I taught you how to convert fractions into decimals and how to convert decimals into fractions. So assuming you've been given 4/5, which is a fraction, and you're being asked by a teacher to change it into a decimal. We said that you take this fraction, 4/5 is the same as 4 divided by 5. That's what we said. So if you want to convert 4/5 into a decimal, you take 4 and then you divide by 5. Of course, the first number is always put inside, and we are going to use the long division method. So you're going to have 5 there, dividing number 4. And the question is, can 4 be divided by 5? It can't. If it cannot be divided, you write 0, and then you put a decimal. And the moment you insert a decimal there, class 5, we said we add a 0 here. So we are having 0 point. We have got a 0, and then we have a point. And then immediately after putting a point there, we add a 0 on our dividend. So we take 40, we divide by 5. We have got a new number, which is number 40. You take number 40 and then you divide it by 5. And 40 divided by 5 is, the answer is 8. 8 times 5, you get the answer is 40. Take away, of course, we don't have any remainder. We have 0 there. So 4/5 written as a decimal, the answer is 0.8. I hope you got that. So that is the answer. And then we move to the second. Move to the second question. A minute. We move to the second question. And our second question is as follows. Taking some time, but don't worry. Write as a fraction. Write as a fraction in its simplest form. Write as a fraction in its simplest form. And the decimal was 0.05. The decimal was 0.05. 0.05. So if you are given 0.05 class 5, you are given 0.05 5, you are told to write it as a fraction in its simplest form. 0.05, write as a fraction in its simplest form. This is what you're supposed to do. You are going to count the number of decimals. We taught you that. I taught you that. Count the number of decimals from the decimal point as you move towards your right. How many decimals are there? And we have how many decimal class? 1. We have 2 decimals. We have got 2 decimals there. So we are going to write our whole number, which is 5, and it becomes the numerator over 100. 100. We are writing 100 because of the 2 decimal points. So 2 decimal points represents 100. 3 decimal points represent 1,000. 1 decimal point represents 10. That's how it is. You were taught that in class 5, so I don't think if that one can be a problem to you people. So we start. We are going to simplify. 5 divided by 5 is 1. 10 divided by 5 is 2. And we have a remainder of 0. So our new numerator is 1. And the denominator is 20. So 0.05 written as a fraction in its simplest form is 1 over 20. I know most of you are writing, were just giving me your answer as 1 over 100. You didn't read the question. The question was, you're supposed to write as a fraction, and then after writing as a fraction, you simplify it. So if you never simplified your question, my friend, you are very much wrong, because you're supposed to follow the instructions that were given. And then we move to the third question, number 3. What is the place value of 7 in the number 0.257? What is the place value of 7 in the number 0.257? This is a very simple question, very easy. Of course, you know what you're supposed to do. It's just a revision. I'm just trying to remind you what you were taught in your previous classes. I'm looking for a place to write. Let it load. Kwanza. After that, we can now write our question. 0.257. 0.257. You are asked to find the place value. Place value of decimals, they're a bit tricky because some of you don't know where you're supposed to start from. And when you are giving the place value of decimals, we always start from the decimal point. As you move towards the right side of your hand, we start with the 10. If you are moving to the left side of the hand after the decimal, immediately after the decimal, you start with ones. So after the decimal, towards your right, we are starting with the number 2, which is the first number on our right. And the place value for number 2 is a 10th. Remember, it is a 10th, not tenths. So everything on the right-hand side of the decimal, we will be adding th on it. So that is 10th, this is 100th, and then this is a 1,000th. So the place value for digit 7 class is 1,000th. That is the place value for number 7. As simple as that. Number 5, its place value is 100, even though we were not asked that. We were only asked to give the place value of digit 7. So that's what you are supposed to give. And then we move to the next question. Find the value of x in the algebra x plus 5 is equals to 25. X plus 5 is equals to 25. You're supposed to find the value of x. Find the value of x. Let me look for my board. We continue. Find the value of x. I'm going to write the question there. The question is, X plus 5 is equals to 25. X plus 5 is equals to 25. Let us start. So remember what we were talking about last time when we were dealing with algebra. We said that we have got like terms and unlike terms. Like terms, these are numbers which share the same letter. That is in algebra. And unlike terms are numbers that don't share the same letter. Like terms are always put together, and like terms are always put together. You cannot put together in algebra, you can't put together two numbers that don't share the same letter. And if numbers don't have letters, of course, they are like them. So for the case of this question, x plus 5 is equals to 25. Number 5 and number 25, they don't have any letter. This one has got an x. So we cannot put together. We can't add x to 5 because x and 5 are not like terms. So we are going to put together 5 and 25. Remember, this is a disclaimer. You have to remember this. If a number has got a positive sign, that is plus, the moment that number crosses the equal sign and comes to this side, this sign, which is plus, changes to minus. So if it was plus 5, it will change to minus 5, and it has crossed. So on this side of the equal sign, we remain with the letter x only. And here we have 25, take away 5. 25 minus 5. The answer is 20. Therefore, the value of x is 20. The value for x is 20. I hope you got that right. And we move on. Move on to the next question. And our next question is collect the like terms, and work out. Collect the like terms and work out. And then that is our question. So this one, I'm just going to work it out here. Collecting like terms, when you look at the question, all the numbers, they have got the same letter. All of them, they have y, 2y, 3y, 5y, and y. But there is something which is very important that you have to know also concerning the signs. If we have 2y plus 3y minus 5y plus y, we said that we have to start with the plus first. And in algebra, always start with the first number, which is 2y. Do we have any other number with a y on our question? Yes. That is plus 3 plus 3y. Do you have any other number with y? Yes. And we are going with the plus first, plus y. Then after that, we write minus 5 minus 5y. So that is what we have. We have 2y plus 3y plus y minus 5. Alafu nakuja chini, you collect the like terms. 4y plus 3y, the answer is 5y. 5y plus y, the answer is 6y. And then 6y, you take away 5y. 6y take away 5y, the answer is 1y. And 1y is the same as, and that is our answer. So that's what you are supposed to do. Take the like terms, 2y plus 3y plus y minus 5y. And then after that, you work out 2y plus 3y, 5y. 5y plus y, the answer is 6y. 6y, and then you take away 5y, you get is 1y. And 1y is the same as y. Good. Hope you got that right. And now move on to question. And our next question is, what is 13 kilometers and 100 meters multiplied by 3? 13 kilometers, 13 kilometers, here, 13 kilometers, don't worry about my handwriting, please. 13 kilometers, 100 meters times 3. Your 3 mean I wake up chini direct because I want to start working it out. I want to start working out the question. 3 times 0, 0. 3 times 0, 0. 3 times 1, 3. 1 kilometer plus is equals to 1,000 is equals to 1,000 meters. Since this one has not reached 1,000 meters, it has not reached it hasn't reached 1,000 meters. We are not going to carry anything. So hapa tunabaki tuna hivyo. And then 3 times 3 is 9, and 3 times 1 is 3. So we have 39 kilometers and 300 meters. So that's what you are supposed to do. And then we move to the last bit of our questions. Convert to kilometers. 3,500 meters. Hiyo ni swali rahisi sana. 1 kilometer is equal to 1,000 meters. What about 3,500 meters? Multiply, of course, you simplify and you get 3 kilometers and 500 meters. The remaining questions, those ones are very easy. Ni kazi rahisi sana. Unaweza ukazimaliza wewe mwenyewe. What is the approximate height of your classroom door? The answer is always 2 meters, and write one example of a recurring decimal in a fraction form. That one you can also do it. Very good. Let us meet on Monday when we will be having another math lesson. It has been my pleasure. Have a good time and make sure you do correction if you failed any question.